Now, events are taking place today to mark the 10th anniversary of the MH17 disaster that saw a Malaysian Airlines flight shot down over eastern Ukraine, killing all 298 people on board. The aircraft was struck by a Russian-made missile over separatist-held pro-Russian territory. Well, let's speak to our correspondent Anna Holligan in Amsterdam. Anna, can you just take us through the events that are taking place today? Apologies, it seems that Anna can't hear us at the moment. Well, let's speak to Michael Bociurkiw, the Atlantic Council Senior Fellow and the former spokesperson for the Special Monitoring Mission to Ukraine, the Organisation for Security and Cooperation in Europe. He was on Donbass during the shootdown of the flight over eastern Ukraine back in 2014. Can you just... I understand that you're attending the event today.
Yes, I am. And there will be relatives coming from all over the world. We're told the Prime Minister will be there, the royals will be here, representatives of various governments, including the United Kingdom. But having said that, I have spoken to some of the relatives, and it's, as you pointed out, it's been 10 years since those 298 souls were lost in that Russian shootdown. Many of them just can't afford anymore to come here. And that's really sad because, you know, they've been spending so much money coming here for the trial, for other events associated with the shootdown. And some of them, sad to say, have had to have, for example, multiple burials because some of the remains have come in a few deliveries, if we can use that word. So it's been very, very tough on them, not only financially, but also, of course, emotionally.
In your role back in 2014, you were part of the first international team to arrive at the crash site. That must be an experience that will stay with you forever.
Absolutely. It's something, I mean, it feels like yesterday, to be honest with you. And when we arrived, several hours after the plane came down, it was still smoldering. There were belongings, debris, and bodies, of course, scattered all over. But, you know, the one searing image that comes to mind that shows you how gruesome this was, especially the behavior of the pro-Russian rebels, was one of the rebel leaders almost triumphantly took one of the many children's teddy bears that was scattered there and triumphantly put it on the bayonet of his rifle and held it up. And that was such an insult to everybody. But, you know, we also didn't realize the enormity of this, but at the end of the day, it's one of the biggest aviation crimes in modern history. And I think we can say it's one of the biggest defining crimes of our generation. You know, someone's related it to the killing of the Washington Post journalist, Mr. Khashoggi as well. But no one has served any time behind bars. That's on the mind of the relatives. No one has said sorry. And of course, compensation is very, very slow to come.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I mean, 10 years on and the family's, you know, still looking for answers and you know, still struggling with that terrible incident that happened.
Indeed. And, you know, I have to give credit to the Dutch, not only for recovering a lot of the debris with ROSC help, but also repatriating the bodies, giving them a dignified treatment, but also a few kilometers from where I am right now, where I'll be going shortly, is creating this beautiful memorial, 298 trees commemorating all of the souls that died on board, as well as a sunflower field. So at least the relatives who cannot go to the crash site then can come here and properly remember their loved ones. But again, they really want a sort of closure in the sense of Russia apologizing, that the top person responsible, and the Dutch have said the deployment of that Buk missile could go all the way up to Mr. Putin, and also compensation as well, and those 3 individuals convicted spending time finally behind bars.
Okay, Michael Bociurkiw, we appreciate your time here on BBC News. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's speak to our